We asked head coach of the Bakersfield Condors, Gerry Fleming, what one of his favorite places to go in Bakersfield, California was post-practice. He picked Cafe Smitten, so of course that's where we are here for a little chat. Gerry, thank you for joining me.
Great to be here, Wesley. Thanks for having me on.
I can see why you like this place. It's got like a laid-back California vibe. You've been in Bakersfield now for 3 seasons as a head coach. Just talk about Bakersfield as a market, as a city, and as an organization.
Well, as a market, it's great for American Hockey League. It's had a minor pro team here for 20 years now. We're celebrating our 20th anniversary. So the fan base is very knowledgeable, very passionate about the game. People are hardworking, inviting, a very caring community. Proximity to everything else in California is great. Some great restaurants. So the boys enjoy it. I know I've enjoyed living here, and if I speak for Tony and JF, you know, to grow up with or have a young family right now growing up here in Bakersfield, they really appreciate it.
What about the business side of things? They have a lot of wacky promotions that have gained some national attention, international attention. You see it in Canada as well. What do you think about that side of it?
I think it's great. I think Matt Riley and his staff come up with new ingenious ways to promote the game here, and if it's doing it by you know, having a wacky promotion or something outside the box, then so be it. I think it's great. I think it's like you said, it gains a lot of national attention. So just keep doing what they're doing as long as they put butts in the seats and promote the game in California, and I think it's a good thing.
For you, the team is starting to gain some points here in the standings. Where do you see the performance as of late for your guys, and are they really starting to kind of buy into that focus on the details mentality that you always coach?
Yeah, we had a meeting there maybe about 3 weeks ago where, you know, we had to find an identity. What's our identity? And you know, we focused on 3 things, and one of those things was our details. Details in our game preparation, details in our system play, details in our practice habits. And, you know, that's something that we've put at the forefront of our game. And since then, I think it's given guys a focus. Like, in order for us to really give ourselves a chance to win on any given night, we have to almost play mistake-free hockey, and we've got to stay focused on the details of our game.
You've been a head coach before at the ECHL level. You've had a few years to do it now in the American Hockey League. How have you evolved as a head coach?
I think you evolve all the time in anything in life, not just as a coach. But, you know, a lot of your experiences or a lot of your evolution comes through experiences and getting different experiences from season to season, almost from week to week to day, just in some of the situations that present themselves. Obviously, I've had some great mentors or some people that I've worked with Todd and Rocky, and now Todd McClellan and his staff up there. They've been great. You know, so you're always trying to draw from the people that you work with in order to make you better and to evolve, and obviously you try to help them and you know, be a part of their evolution as well.
That being said, the American Hockey League is very unique in that you have to balance winning and obviously putting fans in the seats, but then developing young players for your parent club. What's the biggest challenge in that?
Well, I don't think there's challenges. You know, I think that, again, every season presents different situations. And, you know, I think it's important that part of developing is teaching guys to win. And there's a formula that goes into winning. You just can't say, okay, well, let's go out and win. There's a certain process that you have to follow, and you have to be religious in that process. You can't deviate away from it because the formula has proven year in and year out to be the one. And obviously it all starts with foundation, that foundation of hard work, that foundation of preparation, that foundation of details in your game, the foundations of the fundamentals of the game. So I think that's how we've approached things here, by just focusing on the foundation and then building up from the foundation.
Sometimes a good foundation includes having good vets in the room to kind of help young players grow and really understand what it means to be a pro. Things from treatment, nutrition, how they carry themselves in a locker room. How important is it to have good veterans, and you seem to have that with the Condors as well?
Well, I think it's important on any team, like in any league. It's important that, you know, every team is going to have veteran guys and every team is going to have young guys. And I think that, you know, your veteran guys have to bring the young guys up with them, so when it's their turn to be that veteran guy, that they've learned, they've known, and then they can pass it forward. So you're always passing it forward. So the importance of having good veteran leadership in order to teach your young guys so they can apply that to the next generation of young players that comes up is paramount.
Let's talk about some Oilers prospects now. The young D-core is what's very important down here right now. You have Ethan Bear, Caleb Jones, Ryan Mantha. What's the biggest challenge in developing a defenseman? What maybe do they need to learn the most when they first come into the pro ranks?
To keep the game as simple as possible, to understand that moving the puck quickly, that going back for pucks quickly, just all the good habits that a good defenseman needs to have in order to be successful are the things that we try to teach them. And like in these guys, most guys have had success either at the college ranks or at the junior ranks, have probably been the best players on their team at that point. So they've gotten away with things that they're not going to get away with down here, like because the separation between the really good players at those levels and the marginal players, there's a huge separation where the gap gets tighter and tighter between those type of players as the further you go along your professional career. So understanding that the things that you may have gotten away with into junior or college ranks, you're not going to get, and just trying to break them of those habits, and that's through a lot of teaching, a lot of video, and a lot of trial and error.
Between the pipes, you've had Nick Ellis for most of the season, and he's had some really good games for you guys. With goaltenders, they always say it takes them a little bit longer to pop. It takes them a little bit longer to develop. But what have you seen from him?
He's a hard worker. Like you know, nobody's going to outwork Nick Ellis in any area of his life. So that's one of the things that leaps out to you as a coach, is like the way he puts the time and the energy and the effort into honing his craft. You know, he's played some absolutely magnificent games for us, and there's games that, you know, he's been so or average. Just finding that consistency in his game, I think, for Nick is going to be really important.
All right, thanks a lot for this, Gerry. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Wesley. Thanks for having me.